Sweet, sweet. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. What appears to be pretty solid application lead types versus 5. So you're batting, you're batting better than, probably close to 40%.
Yes. Yeah, now that I haven't been purchasing leads at all, my conversion ratio definitely has gone up.
Has it really?
It has. Now that I haven't been purchasing leads?
It's more.
Oh, you're playing. Okay, I thought you misunderstood me.
No. I totally got it. It just depends on what you want. I mean, it's funny how for years I fought against buying business and paying for things. And I think it was 2011 and 12. I partnered with a realtor and did Zillow leads.
Yes.
And I lasted about 6 months, and then I gave up because the type of people that you talk to treat you like you're a Zillow ad.
Yeah, you're a telemarketer.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's all it is. And so I'm so happy. I look at your conversion rate, and I'm like, man, I don't even think you need 30 deals. I don't think you need 30 leads. If you're closing what? That's 7 deals a month just by talking to 12 people. That's a pretty good conversion rate and a decent income.
Sure.
And with your average loan size, that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
Good deal. Well, Mark, good afternoon. Scott, good afternoon. How are you boys doing? Scott's still trying to figure out how to use this program.
Hello, everybody.
So, hey, Mark, are you there?
Yes, just got on.
Awesome. So I was just having a conversation with Ryan Miller about his lead tracker, and I'll bring this over. So this is Ryan's lead tracker, and you started off the conversation, Ryan, by saying something pretty amazing, which was, this is the fullest it has been halfway through the month that you can remember, right?
Yes.
And he said my conversion rate has actually gone up since I stopped buying leads.
That's awesome.
Is anybody else here buying leads?
Well, I don't buy. I didn't buy. Can you hear me, Doug?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I just partnered up with one of my agents for a Zillow for like $53 a month, And I mean, it gave me. I got I think 10 or 12 people, and like 6 of them say they want mortgages. So.
Right.
But I've never done leads, and I'm not sure I'm a big fan of these buyers seem to be a little goofy, with Zillow leads or Zillow contacts, whatever they come through, Well,
right. Ryan can speak to that because I think Ryan was doing it for a while, weren't you?
I was. Yeah, I was calling internet leads as well as Zillow leads, and I got in the industry that's all we did with the refi boom was calling leads.
Gotcha.
However, I got out of it for a long time and started purchasing them again just to try to get to my 30 leads a month. But I soon found out that I was really just spinning my tail with those, and it was, spending much more time than I was gaining, actual new loans out of it. So I discontinued Zillow as well as the internet lead as well. Now, if you pay $50 to gain a realtor out of it, then I can see doing that. I know I have several LO friends that do that just for the relationship.
Yeah, and that's what I did. And like I said, show 10 lists or something like that, but I almost think I need to just stay away from those and let him send them once they filter out, because initially I think I'd dive in and call and work and talk and all that stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I just never have,
I think there requires a certain mindset. I think it requires a certain mindset to be commoditized. And I think that everything that we've talked about since the inception of this class has been to communicate your value, and it's hard to communicate your value to somebody that shows up on your doorstep based on a process of commoditization.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I think I got a good relationship, or solidified with my agent, but I think I'm just going to let him deal with, calling back and chasing them and bobbing and weaving until there's something real there,
Right.
It just seems like you're strong-arming people or chasing or, you know what I mean?
No, completely, totally agree.
So, sounded, I thought I mean, there's leads coming through. I just don't think it's for me to chase them until something comes through closer, you know?
Agreed. You know what? Your value as a loan officer is much more than paying for leads. You should have, you do have the ability of cultivating relationships without having to pay for them. It's no different than any kind of relationship. When you pay for it, it's not nearly as fundamentally sound as if you developed it organically. So does everybody have their computer screen on? Does everybody see what's on my screen?
Yes, I do. I got it on my phone. I had to reboot my laptop, so I got it on my phone here. That's what was taking me so long when you were harassing me, Doug.
So Ryan, do me a favor. Go through that little stair and tell me where you're at mentally. Here we are, January 13th, halfway through the first month of the year. You've set some goals and expectations for yourself that, after 15 days, you may or may not be able to determine where you're at, but I would love to see where your mindset's at.
Sure. I can honestly say, Doug, and this hasn't always been this way in months past, but I would say I'm right at I can do it, based on my lead tracker as well as what I'm going to close in the month of January.
What are you going to close in the month of January?
I'll do $1 million, which is what I set for myself as far as what I want to do on a monthly basis.
Right. And did that come with working 40 hours, 50 hours, 70 hours a week?
No, not really. 4 full days and then a half a day on Friday, so probably about 35 hours.
Okay. And is that a lifestyle that you think you can live with?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Okay. And does that provide you an income for you and your family that you guys would be happy with?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's over $250,000 a year, so I can definitely live on that.
Okay. So tell me when you're going through those moments of when you lose your faith a little bit. We're all going to reach those lulls this year. We're always going to have the peaks and the valleys. So last week we had a conversation about what mindset do you take on when you get into those moments. And the reason I have this picture up here is because I always feel like it's always great to see a visualization of where your mindset's at. And I wonder sometimes when we get to that lull, where do you see yourself? And usually it's I can't do it. I want to do it, but I just don't feel like I can't, or I won't do it today because of whatever reason. So when you get into those lulls, buddy, what pushes you over the top? Like what gets you out of that funk?
Generally for me, I don't usually get into really a self-pity mode ever. For me, it's more complacency. I just get to a point where I get complacent and don't want to do the things that are necessary for front-end sales. Because let's be honest, a lot of those things aren't really fun to do. It's nice to get the incoming call or the realtor referral that just is sitting right in your lap where you're just taking a nap and they're, wanting to speak with you to make sure they qualify. But when the leads aren't coming in, the front-end sales is the tougher part to do. And it's never, for me, it's not a point where I get into self-pity. Like I said, it's more just complacency where I not that I can't do it, that I won't do it, almost more the bottom step where I just don't want to do it. So to answer your question, when I get in that state, usually I just need to clear my head. And for me, the gym is usually a really good thing for me to do because it's healthy, and I can go in there for an hour or so and do some cardio and weightlifting and come out, and usually that's just what I need to kind of snap out of it.
Right.
If I get into a deeper type of complacency, like over the holidays, you might need something a little more than that. But 9 times out of 10, that's all I need.
Yeah. Right. But the beautiful part is that if you do what you say you're going to do for 11 and a half months out of the year, there's no reason why the holidays can't be that I'm going to goof off and relax kind of mindset.
Sure. Yeah.
And you look at it as this little these little staircase goes. I love being able to look at that and go, if I wake up today and go, man, I'm going to do it. I can do it totally. It kind of gives you that enthusiasm to know that whether you're coming back for the gym or not, it's that there doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot of effort, I don't think, to sit there and simply communicate to the people that you already know, like, and trust.
Sorry, guys.
Yes.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Mark. No worries. So when you come back from the gym and you talk about getting complacent, when you talk about earning the money you want to make and providing for your family and the new house and the stuff you shared with us last week, what is it that you're striving for? What is it that really keeps you excited about the effort that you're putting in? I know it's not about money because you're not a money-driven person.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just to be able to become, financially free. And you're right, I'm not a money guy, but on the same token, I want to be able to retire at a certain point. I want the bills to stop coming in the mail, including the mortgage. So what drives me is to one day become financially free. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, what's the first benchmark that helps you feel like you're achieving that? Like, what's the first thing on your list that says, I'm on my way?
Sure. I mean, I personally, in regards to that, follow. I'm a big Dave Ramsey advocate.
Yeah.
So I've gone through all the financial coaching, and even went through his master series up in Tennessee. So I'm like, I'm a big Dave Ramsey guy, and my family. It's a running joke with the family. But anyways, I'm on baby step 6 right now, which is to pay off the mortgage. So I took a 15-year loan out, and so my sole goal right now is just to pay that thing off. So there are 5 other baby steps before that, but once the mortgage is paid in full, then it's just, then you're pretty much there, without any bills coming in the mail. Now you can really work on, investing and what have you.
Got it. Nice. So your bottom line is every single month you're making that 15-year mortgage note, knowing full well that if you keep at this and continue to make your income that you're striving for, you will have that loan paid off in 15 years or sooner.
No, I took out a 15 years. So with my amortization chart, I plan on paying it off in 5.5 years. That's my goal. Yes.
So everybody on this call.
Are you going to do the Dave Ramsey scream?
What?
Are you going to do? I was asking him if he was going to do the Dave Ramsey scream for "I'm debt free."
I think I will.
Come on,
I will.
You're going to invite us, right? So we can come see that, huh?
Sure.
Well, everybody that's on the call right now, I want everybody to make a pledge. I want everybody to make a pledge that whenever they hear or feel like Ryan is not doing his share, meaning if he's not living to his full potential, like his lead tracker is not hitting the numbers that he says he wants to hit, that we all keep reminding him of the motivation behind this, which is to be mortgage-free in the next 5.5 years. And in all fairness, that's not that far away. That means every month is a big deal. It literally means every month is a big deal.
I like that.
So I think your vulnerability in this particular case is exactly what we're all looking for, which is when you're in a lull, you might be able to, when you're feeling complacent, you're going to be able to either get yourself out of it, but rest assured, as long as you're attending this call, you have now given us that kryptonite that prevents you from feeling like you have no motivation. Because now you have 3 people on the call that are going to look at you or talk to you and say, hey, buddy, how's that mortgage plan coming along?
I like it. That's awesome.
And that's really what this, and I feel like that's what this call is all about today, which is when somebody runs into a wall, I don't want them to turn around and give up. I want them to stare at the wall. Let's contemplate a solution, either walk around it, let's plow through it, or climb over it. And I think whenever your lead tracker falls short of the goals that you have, I think we all know exactly what we can ask Ryan that he's doing and not doing. And I think it'll be very obvious. I also have to congratulate you, my friend, on how many current clients did you get? You've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Am I missing any? You got 3 past client or current client or personal friend. 4. 4 leads that came in from non-realtor relationships, and of those 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So you're batting about a 40-60 ratio of personal friends, past client referrals versus realtor relationships that are going to be closed. That'll be applications.
That in itself is huge for me, Doug, because I think you saw my lead tracker when we first started. I mean, not only was it a lot smaller, but it was 100 to 90% realtor based. So the different legs of the stool are definitely starting to establish.
Right.
Legs of the stool. There you go.
Sorry, guys. Margot just said she didn't get the invite. I'm just seeing. So ignore.
It's because she wasn't invited.
She's showing us up. She's showing us up too much, We're intimidated by her.
You should tell her that.
What? 1408. I don't know how to I don't know how to resend it out. I thought I sent her one. My bad.
I can, Doug. You want to forward it
I
to
can
her?
forward it, yeah.
Yeah, could you guys forward it to her, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. My bad. Sent items. Let's see. Let's see if we just can't get her back in the mix before we do anything else.
And you did send it to her originally, Doug.
I did?
I can see her name on her, yeah. Not to throw her under the bus or anything.
You're throwing her under the bus, man.
Oh,
I thought we had to stick together, huh?
Yep. All right. So she said she never got it. All right, good deal. Another invite. So I apologize. What were you saying, Ryan? I apologize. You were saying something just a minute ago.
No, I was just stating that you know that is a win as well. It's not just that the lead the quantity has increased.
Right.
It's also my referral sources has changed, where it was predominantly realtor based, and so now I'm building other legs to the stool, as we've talked about in past meetings.
Right. And so now you look at your business and go, I don't feel like I have to do nothing but solicitate realtor relationships, so I can be a little bit more careful on who I choose to work with. Like you have a pillar of business that you don't need necessarily to build relationships with just real estate agents. And that's got to give you a little bit of freedom.
It does. It definitely does.
Good. Mr. Zachary, you, my friend,
Yes,
you've got a great story to tell.
Yeah, it's been a good start to the year so far. I'm excited about it. I'm actually going to be transitioning our home back to the Austin area, and
Nice.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to be abandoning Houston. I still plan on working here and keeping these relationships, but we are excited to get back home. That's where we grew up, in the Austin area, and so we're excited about that. It'll probably be a June or July time frame. My wife is a school teacher, and so she has to finish out the school year, but I think I've got a good transition plan in place that started January 1, and it's really seems to be taking off very quickly.
How exactly does the witness relocation program work?
Well, I'm going to have to change my main NMLS system, but it all should go okay.
Good. So what are you going to do about the whole Santa event, man? You started to build this image in the area of Houston where you were like the Santa Claus dude.
Yeah, no, I'm going to still do that, and I'm going to utilize a builder to do that, and he invited me last week to do a presentation to some realtors in his model home, and we're going to do it to the realtors and some of his salespeople. And we're going to have the Santa event in one of his model homes, and I think he's going to get some good traffic through there.
That's awesome. That's a really good idea, man. What a great idea to partner up with a builder to do that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he was pretty excited about it, and I've been working on him for a while, and he's finally agreed to let me do the 7 levels of communication training at his model home on February 16th. I'm pumped about that.
Heck yeah! How many salespeople does he have?
At least 25. He's got 26 communities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does everybody see the value? Man, Mark, you got restate what you just said, because I don't think everybody really fully grasped the magnitude of what you just got accomplished. Can you just say that one more time?
Yeah, this guy has 20. I've been working on him for over a year, trying to get on his preferred lender list, and yeah, he does have 26 communities here in Houston. They do build in Austin as well, so that could open up the opportunity in Austin. I don't know how many communities they have there, but yeah, we're going to hold the Santa event in his model home, one of his model homes, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great opportunity.
So when you look at this ladder here that's in the screen, where are you at today, buddy? Where's your mindset?
Pretty much I will do it. I know I can do it based on some successes I've had in the last half of the year, and it's just that I'm going to do it. That's just the bottom line. I'm going to make the calls I need to make. I'm going to make the relationships I need to make. And so it's probably somewhere between the I can and I will. And
okay.
But I would say more leaning towards I will do it. I know what to do, and so it's just a matter of doing it.
So Mark's lead tracker on steroids that he sent me today, you had said something to me in an email this morning, and please, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about what you did and what the result has been like.
Yeah, so last week I let everybody know, or not everybody, but I sent out a Facebook message to all family and friends, and just letting them know that I would be I didn't want to say moving to Austin yet, because I don't want my people in Houston to think I'm abandoning, but my verbiage was I am expanding my mortgage practice to now cover Austin. And if you know of any family or friends that are looking for mortgage services, be sure and pass my name to them. And I've gotten, if you look at that number there, I've gotten 9 referrals from family and friends in 12 or 13 days. So that's equating to 43% of my business right now, and it blew me away how quickly that happened.
63% of your business right now is current client, past client, and family friends. 63% of your business. I feel like I'm looking at my lead tracker when I was doing it.
Yeah. Yep, it's very encouraging.
So what are the calls like with the clients that are all FFs? Like when you talk to Tammy Baker, that's not Tammy Faye, is it?
No, let's see here. You know, it's back to that script that you coached me on, several months ago, Doug. It's like here's why I do what I do, and this is why so and so referred you, and if we choose to work together, we'll take great care of you. But there's not even a pricing conversation. A part of it is just, here, Mark, this is what I need. Can you help me? And yeah, we can take care of that for you. And so there's just no, well, I'm quoting you against 5 other lenders. That just never even comes up.
Wow, that's so cool, buddy. I love seeing those numbers. And so when you posted the Facebook message, you literally had all these people reaching out to you because they were, was it all purchased except for one?
Yes. Let's see here. That was a total of 17 purchase leads, 4 refinance leads so far.
All right, who gets an A+ for effort this week?
Mark is.
Man, Mark, that is fantastic. That's fantastic. So what do you, hey, Scott, Ryan, Margot, hi, hey, sweetie, how are you doing? Margot, you there? She's on the call. I just can't hear her. Anyway, so, hey, Mark, what would you say is the one unique selling proposition that you've implemented into your business that really, truly has helped you accomplish this kind of conversion rate? Has it really just been that conversation that you have with every client?
It really has. I think I've come across a lot less pushy, a lot less, just more confident in me as a consultant, a mortgage consultant, versus just a loan officer like every other person out there. It's just, I think it's a confidence level. Even my calls to realtors now, it's just I think the tone is a lot different. It's, how can I help you? If I can't really help you, and if you don't have a game plan for your business, then how can I help you develop a game plan? So it's being more to the realtor side. It's being more of a business partner versus a loan officer for them.
Wow. Hey, Scott, didn't we just have that same conversation today?
I think Mark was listening in on your spiel and just wanted to suck up to you, because that's exactly what Doug was coaching me on, Mark.
I would tell you, Mark,
Yep,
Scott, I would tell you that you would be, if I was you, I would be an absolute fool if after this call I didn't pick up the phone and start spending time with Mark one-on-one, talking to him about his language skills and what he says and how he says it and why he says it. to hear it not just from me, but to hear it from somebody else who's actually implementing it into their business, and to see what kind of, see what he's done to tweak it. And I think it would be absolutely fantastic for you guys to share that with each other. And Ryan and Marco as well.
Mark, I'd love to take Mark up on that if that's, fine, because that's exactly where I'm missing a little, that little, I don't know, mindset, little, it's what Doug and I have been talking about. I just, for some reason, hasn't clicked in to effectively use,
Right.
So, call anytime. Just that script that Doug, me and Doug did the role playing, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ago, Doug, when we went through that.
At least.
So.
Yeah, and that's what we've been talking about. Doug's been trying to help me.
Like yesterday, I did make one cold call, a guy that, I made several cold calls, but they were kind of warm cold calls. And there was a realtor that I had talked with late last year, and he said, well, call me its first year. And, at first he said, no, I don't have time to get together. And I think the confidence that I had from all this other stuff just kept me pushing forward to get that meeting. And I probably got three no's from him in a matter of 30, 40 seconds. I kept on, and now I've got a coffee meeting next Friday with him at 1 o'clock. So, I wasn't pushy about getting a lead. I was pushy about what are you doing this year different than last year to meet your new goals. So anyway.
Oh, that's huge.
Awesome.
I mean,
that's awesome. So, hey, Margo, are you on the call yet? She's here, but she still is not able to get her mic working. So, hey, Scott, did you send me your lead tracker, my friend?
If I didn't, I can hit resend right now. You will have it, right?
Yep, if you don't mind.
No.
Perfect. So, hey, Scott, tell me a little bit about where your mindset's at today. See that? I'd like to hear, honestly, where you're at.
Well, you and I, when we were talking earlier, I'm at the stage where, we rode to the island, the boats are burned, and there's no option right now. I mean, I'm going to do whatever it takes right now. No, I'm serious. I mean, that's what it is. It's like, I forget, you guys are probably smarter than I am as far as where that's from. It's one of those, where one of those great leaders, took off his army to the island or to the thing, and then burned all the boats. So they had no choice but to succeed. And that's
it was I forget who it was that landed on landed in South America, and they were outnumbered by like 10 to 1. Yep.
Exactly. So now burn all the boats, and you either and that's where my mindset is. You know what I mean? And it's not out of desperation. It's it's the opportunity is so amazing when I listen to you guys and other people. It's like, wow, for a tweak, adjust, this or that, and just coming out of my comfort zone, it's bizarre, what's out there. When I listen to stories like Mark, I mean, seriously, 9 people, you get to go back to your hometown, you got 9 people, and, the adjustment is a little bit of mindset and, scripting. Really? Wow.
Yeah, because now you have the confidence, right? Mark, you have a level of confidence about who you are. You're now able to articulate it in such a way that nobody else can, right?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's just a total different mindset.
And it seemed to be that, where a lot of it came in is gotten away from the, slick, oily salesman mentality and become, whatever, true to who you are. And that, to me, that's what resonates, is how genuine it's coming across now.
Awesome. So, hey, Scott, if you had one question to ask to Ryan and Mark and to Margo, if she can hear you, what would be one question that you would ask them? Are you there, Margo?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Scott, what would be the one question that you'd want to pose to the group that you could implement into your business over the next 7 days that would truly have an impact as it relates to increasing the amount of leads that you have on your table?
I think the biggest thing is what we were just talking with maybe picking Mark's brain, and not just like the other two, but Mark's brain with some of the scripting that allows that humility, the comfort to come through when not begging for business, but more of the partnership relationship, because that's where the disconnect's been with me is being that oily salesman who's begging for a deal. And it sounds like, I mean, I haven't heard Ryan as much, but Mark definitely seems to be taking that up to the ninja level. And that for me, you and I were talking the same, similar, same thing. So maybe, having a second, feedback from Mark would, definitely solidify it or clarify it or, give me a different perspective on it, because it's working for him, and that's where I'm at.
Well, I think, and I think if I could speak about this from what I see in Mark, I think what Mark did was he came and completely surrendered himself to the language and to the conversations, and he put 100% faith and trust in that if he did what we had talked about, that he would see some improvement in his business. And I don't think we talked about guaranteeing or promising anything, but when you commit to doing something the way that Mark has and that Ryan has, I think you really truly gain that level of, to your words, a ninja status, where you almost have to get broken before you can be fixed. And not to say that Mark or Ryan were broken, but it gets to the point where you have to hit the bottom and believe that all of your other ways of doing business just weren't working for the way that you wanted it, and you had to try something new, and you had to put all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak. But when you do that, and I think Mark and Ryan both can attest to it, that when they put their eggs in the basket, the rewards that they're getting didn't come the next day. They're starting to manifest itself, over the last couple months. Is that a fair assessment, guys?
Oh yeah, for me for sure. It didn't happen overnight, but you started celebrating the leads that you were getting versus the closings you were having, and it excited you for the future. And some of the stuff that you implement will get you leads right away, but I think it's a total different mindset of celebrating leads versus closings. And I would be getting a significant number of leads, but the closings were bad for that month because the leads from 2 months ago sucked.
Exactly.
And so I was really celebrating the wrong thing.
Awesome. Hey, Margot.
Hey, buddy. Hey, guys.
How are you?
Hello.
Good. All that time I was there messing with my stupid laptop here trying to get the speaker to work, and I thought, screw it, or the microphone. I'll just call in.
So are you on your computer?
Yes, I can see the screen. I just could not get the microphone to work. So.
Right. Okay. Good. So what we've been talking about up to this point is really like what you and I talked about earlier in the week, Margot, which is, when you reach that lull in your day, and Ryan has said that when he gets complacent, it's not really self-pity, but complacent. He's described to us what his motivation is, and I'll let him share that with the group when he's ready again. But Mark, before we let you go, and Scott, before we get to Margot, hey Mark, what do you do? Like, where does your mind go when you get, let's say, complacent? When you know that there are things that you need to be doing and you're not? How do we as a group collectively look to you and go, this is what you told us, this is what we're going to hold you accountable to? I know you're not driven by money either. I don't think anybody that I know in this company is driven by money. So what for you, Mark, would be the Ryan Miller mindset?
What gets me up in the morning and keeps me on track?
More or less, what keeps you on track when things are not going the way that you want them? When do you avoid being derailed, and how do you get yourself back to being on the tracks again?
It's getting to spend time with my family. I just love spending time with my family and doing things with them, going on little 2 or 3 day trips if we can, to the lake or whatever the case may be, or setting our goals to have a big vacation either in the winter or summer.
Okay.
So that's what drives me, is just getting to spend quality time. I love the money, obviously, but I don't have to make $1 million either to be happy. It's just what is enough to where we're comfortable and get to do things that we want to do without having to worry about, oh God, can we do this and pay the electric bill type deal?
So for the first quarter of this year, what are some of the goals? I mean, you obviously have to have a plan with regards to the family taking either little trips or doing something. Do you have a goal for the first quarter of this year that you can basically tell us that you're striving for?
Production-wise, I'd like to be at $3 million by the end of the. I'm shooting for $1 million a month. I'll have 578 this month, and so by the end of the first quarter, I'd like to have $3 million down. Whether that's 10 loans or 5 loans or 15, it doesn't matter. I go more off a dollar volume and what that means to me financially versus unit volume. One of my goals is to get my loan average up this year, and so I don't have to do as many loans to make the same, money that I want to make.
Okay. So what's the carrot at the end of the stick for you? Obviously doing the $1 million a month is something that will provide you the freedom to accomplish your carrot. But what's the carrot? The $1 million is not the carrot. The stick is the $1 million. What's the carrot hanging off that stick?
Yeah, it's that time that I get to spend with my family. It's that.
So, what is it? What is that? Give us a more specific outcome in the next couple months, because we're going to do this in quarterly increments so that you can do something that you wanted to do with your family, and that we're going to hold you accountable when we feel like your lead tracker is dipping and it's not really hitting its full potential.
Yeah, the carrot for the first quarter is to have our vacation set. We're talking about a cruise to go on in the summer before we move, or shortly after we move. Go on a cruise and not have to worry about anything, and then.
So you'll have it paid for by the end of, or the beginning of, or the middle of March?
Yep, I want it. The best vacations in the world are the ones that are paid for before you go on them.
There you go.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
So can you make that a commitment? Can you turn that statement into a commitment for the rest of us to hear?
Yep, I'm going to do whatever it takes, make the number of calls that I need to make, and get the number of leads that I have to get in order to pay cash for a 7-day, 7-night cruise with my family by the end of Q1.
And that requires you to close your $1 million or close $3 million by the end of March?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody's in agreement. We all know what Mark's motivation is, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Margot. Oh no, I'm sorry, Margot, but I apologize. Mr. Thompson.
Yes, sir.
Your job and your goal is to make sure that realtor doesn't stalk you anymore, right?
That's right. Hey, this is for only quality, It's not for a mixed company now. Come on, Margot's there. She's making me blush.
Oh, I can take it. Don't worry.
So, okay, Scott, tell us a little bit about where your head needs to go. What do we as a group collectively have to do to help you stay focused, and when you do get derailed, pick you up by the bootstraps?
Wow. It's tricky. I mean, my whole thing is, I got a lot of clarity in the last 90 days as far as with this, and everything that I want to, accomplish is just built on simply 5 deals a month. To close 5 deals a month. I mean, it's that. You guys are laughing. I mean, I'm here at Mark's number 6, $3 million, and da-da-da. For me, 5 or 6 closings it's an easy number, but as soon as I had that number, the rest of what I want to accomplish, whether it's family, health, everything, is done. It all migrates from that. I mean, Ryan was saying as far as, the Dave Ramsey debt-free, I'm on the same thing, trying to, whatever, just want to pay off the house. But mine's a little trickier in that I have a little, current bump in the road that Doug's aware of, you know what I mean? So a little uncertain with that. But, dude, it's as basic as 5 closings a month for me. And anything and everything I want for myself and family is done.
So your commitment is, your commitment is by the end of Q1, you'll have closed 15 transactions.
Absolutely, and that's And with doing the numbers in and out, up and down, and it's silly how should be easy that is, And I'm not, and I haven't done it, so I'm not saying that's but that's how basic, you can, and the rest is personal, whether it's getting personal joy or
Right.
There. But I mean, when we talk about all the, different stuff, whether it's vacations with the family, mine has, I can do that. 5 deals, boom. Houses, like Ryan said, his, 5.5 years. Same thing. I get 5 closings. My house is free and clear in 2 years. I don't, kids were doing the vacations, you know what I mean? We talked to, so, I mean, that 5 deals is what starts the whole, everything cascading from there,
So our commitment to you is that when we feel like your lead tracker is not being filled and you're not producing the results that we know you're capable of,
absolutely,
then we're going to hold you accountable to that 15 units by the end of Q1.
Absolutely. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. Does everybody agree that what's been discussed so far is something that we can all support each other with?
Yep.
Absolutely.
And in the same regard, if you feel like I'm not holding you guys accountable enough, or you don't feel like I'm as engaged or as I'm as committed to making you guys reach your fullest potential, if somebody feels like while I'm on the call that I'm not as engaged as I should be, or as I'm not as focused with you guys as I need to be, you guys have the right to hold me accountable to this as well. See, my goal is a little bit different in the sense of I want you guys to see your fullest potential. And we've gone through years where we set goals and expectations for our LOs, or they set them for themselves, and lo and behold, most of the time those goals are never met. I think when we were down in Florida at the last roundtable, I think there was one LO in the entire roundtable that actually hit and exceeded their goals. Everybody else fell drastically shy of them. And that speaks volumes to the accountability piece of this. And again, these goals are what you've shared with us today has been your goals and your desires and what your motivational tools are. All we want is for you to share them with us so we know what your language is. Good afternoon, Margot.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
So if you have your screen up, we've all been talking a little bit about this little staircase here, and I wondered where, because today's call is really all about mindset, I wondered where your mindset was at today.
I'm probably between up to the top. I will try to do it, and I can do it, and I will do it. Okay. I'm right on those 3 steps.
Okay. Can you tell me what your greatest success has been for the first couple months, or first 13 days of the year have been?
First couple weeks has been the clarity that I've gotten from what you just mentioned about us, nobody making their goals, and it was a discussion that I had with you, I believe, Doug, that talked about setting realistic goals and not what you want, but what you want to achieve, if that makes sense. It's not just saying I want to earn $200,000 a year or I want to win another trophy. It's realistically backing into it. The how-to. Mark's lead tracker thing has given me so much insight into making those realistic things that I don't think I've gone into a year as excited as this year, other than when I first came to Success. I was over the moon. But, I mean, just this idea of saying this is going to be the turning point for me in business, where I am on top of this friggin' whatever you want to call it, this challenge, because it always seems to be able to buck me off sometime during the year.
Right. You're absolutely right. I love looking at your lead tracker because it looks oddly familiar to Mark's. I think that's really a great tool.
You've been about an hour with me on, how it works and, the psychology behind it and all that kind of good stuff. So I started fleshing it all out. I use MPC for a lot of the email and stuff like that. But, the main thing is just to be able to see that short, hot hit list all the time, right in front of me all the time. Here's who I call, here's who I call, here's who I call.
Right. So what was the one benefit of the call with Mark that, I mean, obviously Mark's lead tracker is amazingly detailed, but what would you say is the top 1 or 2 advantages of using this kind of lead tracker compared to MPC or the 8 other forms or processes that you were using in the past?
I think this one is a little bit more concise. It takes I don't like to duplicate information, and so I like the fact that I can put it on this one page when somebody calls in, and it's going to be tracked. Rightly so, it does go into MPC because that's how they get emailed information and phone information and all that. But this is the thing, I mean, with MPC, it's so huge. I mean, there's no short, sweet, one shot that I can look at to be able to see who do I need to call today. Even though it's in MPC, it's, you know, formatting a view or formatting a report and all that, that I just, if it's not immediate, then I tend to say, oh, I'll do that later, I'll do that when I have more time. And
Wow, is that not true? I'm totally guilty of that. That's why I think the lead tracker works so well for me, because it was a one piece of paper. It took me less than 2 seconds to see what I needed to see when I had the moment to call somebody.
Yeah, because that's the one that you had asked that question earlier when I couldn't talk, but it was when people get off track, you know, right. And it's like sometimes you'll get, whether it's emotionally you get discouraged or you just are tired or whatever, but you'll find, and I find myself where I say, because I'm always busy. I'm never goofing off. I'm always busy, but I'm not busy with what I need to be busy with. So
right.
I lose a good deal or I get sidetracked and I turn back into, well, I'm going to work on reports in MPC. I'm going to look at my lead tracker and do this maintenance type, kind of like a little blanket that I hold on to or sweep adjust around on the floor that just is that security thing. And that's what I want everybody to hold me accountable for, is that if I'm caught doing that, or how do you guys get yourself out of that when something like that happens and you look and you go, I should be making all these phone calls, but I'm not because I've got all these letters that I got to get out. I mean, I can always find a reason. So how do you guys get yourself back on that course?
Anybody have any idea?
I'll take a stab at it. I'm working really hard on time management and time blocking, and you know, I don't mess around a whole lot either. I probably mess around more than I should, but I'm pretty busy throughout the day too. But it's just time blocking. I was listening to a CD this morning about making sure that you're doing on a daily basis what you're supposed to be doing, and you print your calendar out every morning so you can see, all right, from 9 to 10, that's my power hour. I'm making calls and doing whatever. From 10 to 11, that's when I go into my letters. And so you're not, or you know, letter of success or letter from the heart or whatever. That way you're not jumping back and forth between the two things. You're staying focused on those, on the thing that you're supposed to be staying focused on at that particular hour, not that particular day, but down to the hour, what you need to be focusing on.
So then do you just not take any phone calls? Because that's what will happen to me is I'll get a phone call and then that'll be, you know, if I'm in that power hour of all I'm doing is making phone calls and I call out and not taking in, but somebody will call in and they need a condition and I got to approve a CD, you know, all these things that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say 9 out of 10 of the calls that come in to me go to voicemail. And on my voicemail, it tells them now what hours I will return those calls. Now, if it's a closing or something like that, and I know who it is and what it's about, I will jump off and answer that urgent call. But my recording, you can call in and on any of my numbers, and it'll say I'll return your call between 11 and 11:30 and 4 and 4:30.
Nice.
I'm trying to get to where I turn email off until those time slots too, but man, that's proven to be harder than it sounds like. It's tough not to respond, especially when it's coming on your phone like they do.
Yep. Is it safe to say that most of the people that we talk to on a daily basis do not need us immediately?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think that we craft our own rationalization of why we have to answer the phone right there and then?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the statistic came out, and I forget the exact numbers of it, but I think what they said was once you get distracted, if you're doing a project and you get distracted, it literally takes you 15 to 20 minutes to get re-engaged mentally to the point you were at before you got distracted.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I've had simple things that take an hour to do that would take 5 minutes if I was not being distracted. And where did I leave off? Did I do this? And I'm trying to get things like post-closing letters out. You know, I send letters out to everybody on the transaction. How long does it take to send out 4 letters? Not long. It's a 5-minute process, period. But yet I've had to take over an hour.
Hey, Marco, have you ever thought about hiring one of those answering services?
Yeah, I did. I tried the one that everybody on the Freedom Cup liked or whatever, but they were getting phone numbers wrong and names wrong and sending me other people's information. You know, I get calls that weren't even for me, you know, so I wondered, you know, that they must maybe given mine to somebody else too. So I canceled that when I hired an assistant and just made her do it.
Got it.
But now I'm back to me, so.
Got it. Okay. Does anybody else have anything to share today?
Nope, I'm all set.
So anybody have any goals that they want for next week? I mean, everybody right on the call right now, your lead trackers based on your goals. You guys are these are the full lead trackers I've seen in the middle of the month by everybody, I think, since we started this call.
Yeah.
So congratulations to each and every one of you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. If you guys need anything else, don't hesitate to call. But honestly, Mark, thank you for sharing your lead tracker. Thank you for taking time with Scott to help him with his articulations. And again, guys, if you need anything, don't.
I'll be calling you, Mark. I'll be calling you.
Okay.
I got another Texas boy sitting in my office here. He's from Dallas area, so he just walked into my office here.
If you need me, you can always call me. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.